All right, looks like the stream is up. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Just gonna work on some bugs. For the sticky notepad, put the cursor at the end of the note. Place the cursor beneath here. So I think I have a setting that I used for that in the editor. Let's make this bigger. What did I call it? Let's see. Editor config. Scroll to bottom. Can't remember if scroll to places the cursor underneath it though. So, comma. Yeah, that put it after. It didn't create a new line. So I would assume the sticky note, once you open it, you'd want the previous save, so save something here. You'd want it to create a new line after that. Yeah, that's my guess. So, we don't necessarily, okay, that can trim, that's fine. Well, so there's a new line there. And then, contents. Okay, I can just do plus new line. I believe that will work. Alrighty, so let's fire this up. The reason you'll see me like do this, toggle it on and off, is because if I kind of live change the code in the Git directory, then it has to clear the process pool, some like an idle process. So it reloads the live data or the live SDK. All right, so now when I save, I'll save, open it again, I'll hit comma. Okay, so it saved it with a new line after, and then drop the cursor beneath it. Make this bigger. Well, kind of looking at that on the stream to see if that's too small to read or not. I guess the text isn't too important right now. But essentially, I think that's working. So this working. I'll save it. Just hitting escape saves it. Reopen it. I created. Where did that create 2 lines? Did I hit? Let's see. Delete, delete, delete. Escape. Okay, I must have created a new line right before I saved it that time. Okay. So let's add that in there. We're just going to move this to the source code rather than the compiled. Like this is the output of this. And we'll add a new line. That way, when you want to take some notes, I want to take some notes. Hit escape. Next time I open it, it'll be underneath it, ready for you to type. Okay. And let's also clear out the sticky file. All right. So now when I open it, the file is gone. I'll hit comma. And it created the new file with sticky notes at the top, and it's ready for you to type underneath it. Okay, so that looks good. We can go back to bugs, kind of clear this one off the list. The emoji database. This will involve a lot of compiling to test to make sure everything shipped properly. So, what happened is when you hit colon, like in the production version, in my version it works fine. It'll show an emoji searcher, and you can paste whichever emoji you select. But I believe what happened is the emoji DB, which I tried to ship. So DB emoji, this file. I think this file is getting blown away during a clean install. So I can't remember exactly where in setup all that would be happening. We're gonna have to hunt that down. Setup done. Just reading through some of these. Yeah, so let me look at the build kit script. All right. So install node, copy everything in root, copy build scripts and the types, markdown files, package JSON, the license. This is one of those things I haven't touched in a while, and so I'm trying to, it's like hunting to, it's also hunting back in my memory to remember where this happens, the phase of the build where the database folder. So there's a tar step I remember. Metadeem. Good to see you again. Yeah, I should be good to go each day now, or as often as possible since I'm moved and set up. All right, so it extracts the tar, and then let's see where it's using this. So if node doesn't exist, sets up node on Mac that way, on Linux that way, install node, it's Windows, npm, more npm stuff. No. The prompt cache is in the same directory as the Moji DB, but that's not what I'm looking for. Let me check something. So cancel that. I'm gonna run a build on the SDK. That text is tiny, but all it says is run build. And see if it keeps the emoji DB in there. All right, so this was rebuilt, and in the DB it does have emoji DB, but if I run a production build on the app itself, so when the app is, when you drag and drop the app into your applications folder, and then when you run it for the first time, it sets up the SDK. So during that phase, it should bring over the emoji DB and drop it in the DB folder. But there's something in there that is not doing that. So make this bigger. Bigger. So I'll RF the SDK, and then I will open the production build. So you can see, like, there's some text here talking about how it's creating the SDK. Like, the SDK gets bundled up in the app so it can extract it and put it in. So this should error out. No, my emoji DB is there. Huh, I swear I tested that on. Let me try. Gonna try it on my other machine. I'll bring that over in 1 second. Just let me clean up the desktop of it. All right. So this is a Mac Mini in just the next room, and I'm just screen sharing into it. So I'll test it on this as well. It's a much cleaner environment. I just used it to host some files and stuff. So let's see. colon. Yeah, the DB isn't there in the... I mean, the CI build is a little different than the build I just ran. Let me look through that. All right. Okay. So in the app, that's right, it installs. I need to read through old code. This is tarring up the SDK, and I think this is the SDK as it's published to npm, not as it's built by my local machine. And if I were to look at npm, actually, what's the actually, let's look at it here. Well, it's the one on npm, so I need to look at the build script. Well, but I don't want to ship the emoji DB to npm. I want it in the app. Because the Kit SDK can work with GitHub Actions and other like serverless features. Like, it doesn't have to work with the app, but the emoji DB is app specific. I'll have to bundle it with the app and then have the app added on. I think that's what I'll have to do. And I don't want to have to so if I were to put it with these assets, well, I have a step where I download the like the way I do it with other stuff is there's download docs, download hot, like hot as in the latest. I think what I'll have it do is I'll upload the emoji DB to scriptkit.com and then download it during install. I think that makes most sense. All right. I don't think there's anything to... All right, so here's the website and public data, and just toss EmojiDB in there. So emoji copy, paste, and then data add EmojiDB. All right. Then after second, the website should now have an emoji JSON at scriptkit.com. Let's see. This one hits api.docs. Do I want to handle that through the API? Let's see. Yeah. Hang on, let me check. All right. So I'm gonna grab this. All right. And that should work. Rather than like directly hitting the JSON file, now we can feed it through an API endpoint, just in case I need to like change the JSON file or redirect it to somewhere else. That'll work. All right. And just gotta wait a second for that to, so it should have emoji as an endpoint soonish. 2 minutes, I think is what it takes about to deploy. Let me start thinking about the next, well, I can write the script for help download docs. Where do I want to put it? Hot help. I guess I can make an emoji directory. I don't know what else I'd put in there, but not going to hurt anything. Download emoji and API emoji. data. Yeah, that's not really a DB, so this should point to data as well. All right. So assuming there's the downloads, download help, download docs, path, emoji, download emoji. Oops. Let's grab this in there. It's failing to build. Just looking at my Vercel dashboard on my other page. Nope, it's building. Yeah, the file is up. We're just waiting for the API endpoint to be up. It's not emoji.json. Anyway, that'll be ready in a second. So I think that's requires testing build side build. So I'll need to do an actual like push to production, let it build on the CI and make sure all those steps are working to test that for realsies. Oh yeah, another thing I was gonna check out. I was gonna see if there's any other suggest 10 years ago. Wow. Right now, if you pass in the tilde, it does the file browser, but I'm going to leave that as the slash. I was thinking that because backtick does a Google search, so I can search for whatever, and then open that in the browser, that the tilde could act more like a, like you often use a tilde as approximate, or you're saying something is almost or in that close to. I was thinking that's kind of like suggesting something. So if I'd pass in a tilde, you could start typing and it would start suggesting, like Google suggest or suggest type ahead sort of stuff. Just trying to see what sort of, and I definitely want it to be like either a Google suggest or some online database of something. Wonder what this is. Suggest English questions based on given keywords. Huh. I wonder if they have a demo. I don't see a demo. This one looks the most. I'm gonna assume it pings the search API. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and try this. Yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. But let's see if I can get this to, so it's just called suggestion. See if I can get this to work. Suggestion. Oh. And suggest. How did theirs work? Just suggest and then a callback. Okay, so suggest candy and then call back with the error or suggestions. Suggestions is just an array of strings. Okay. So let's try this. And if I run suggest, install suggestion, continue, we get an array of Candy, Candyman, Candy Bomber, Candy Crush. I like that. So if we bring that into an arg, type to suggest, I'll have to think about that language. All right, so it's going to use suggest based on the input. So if input length is longer than 3, or if it's shorter than 3, return we'll do please type more than 3 characters, something like that. And then I guess I could convert this to a promise. It's pretty much the pattern I've been using for everything. And resolve reject. Resolve suggestions. And this should be an array of strings, so that should just work. Let's make sure we line up all of our curlies. All right, so we're here and there. So that matches up there. This one matches up there, and that's the promise. Then we need a curly here, and then close it off. Okay. That might just, let's see. Suggestion. Well, yeah. Well, we're not really using it. We'll just try Google Suggest. Okay, that errored out right away. Um, hmm. Let's see, log. Hmm. Oh, I know sometimes. This might be, okay, comment it all out. Okay, so what is going on there? If input length log. No, I'm not in dev mode. Types more than 3 characters. Is there a bug in, what is that sending? All right, and then I'm going to suggest logs. Well, I'm going to want to open that log in my kin. Nope, not in there, in here. This one. All right, so it's sending back. That's definitely a bug. I remember someone. Input before typing input is sending back undefined. All right, so yeah, because it's sending no value. And I remember that was important because I didn't want to send an empty string. But if that receives an empty string in here, value submitted, no, it's on input. data state input. So it's going to have to do something like if data state input, because I think I have to send back the undefined or else some of the UI gets screwed up. Something like this. I'm thinking if I should probably have something in the SDK called no value that the app loads in. Where would I put that though? Let's see other places. So that's in the process. Enum. It's not really an enum. Let's see. It's a channel. Process type error action. No, I do have a value, no value. But is there anywhere using that in here? No. Okay, so this isn't being used anywhere, but it's already defined. And this undefined thing, this no value is local to this process. And it's only ever setting, okay. I think that's something that was showing up in the logs. I can't remember. The process logs were showing, like if someone submitted something and they forgot to pass a value, the logs wouldn't show anything because undefines. Like a JavaScript undefined isn't a string and it won't show up in a log, and so I had to manually add a string that represents undefined so that the logs would show if somebody submitted something that was undefined. This is bringing me back to, and that's why it's that. And I didn't want to clog up the logs too much, and I want it to be unique. Okay. But I'm gonna bring this over. So I'm gonna get rid of no value. I'm gonna change this one to that. This is never used. Well, we're gonna call this undefined. And make that a bit more consistent. All right, now I need to quit out of the main. All right, now I need to build this so that the app can pull in a new SDK. right, and then in the app, I'm gonna reload window so that on enum we can bring in value and no value. Value dot undefined. All right, that looks better. And then if that value dot undefined gets submitted, all right, that looks okay. Okay, that's built. Let's go ahead and try it again. Actually, while we're waiting for a second, we can check. Is our endpoint out? Okay, so our endpoint now has the emojis. That's confirmed. That looks good. And we're making this bigger. Okay, so suggest flow. Okay, so suggest. Now we want it to suggest that properties undefined reading length. Input. Log that, see what happens. Okay, so this should now be an empty string. You typed more than 3 characters. That's interesting. It didn't add the input on there. let's try on input. Data.state.input and value undefined. Well, I guess it'd be double equals, huh? Okay, so suggest interesting. It looks like it's bring this here. You know, maybe there might be a scenario where the state is undefined. So what we could do is the state input do that, and then on all of these pass input. Do one of these and suggest okay, so So it hasn't sent channel input yet. Let's go back here. Doesn't have to be an empty string. But it's not passing. Let's see. The state is undefined. Is that right? Oops. I'm not getting input or state. Neither the input or the state is defined on the first time that non-input is invoked. Need to look at the life cycle. Let me just make sure. That's fine, whatever. All right, so value submitted. Name John, but it's not. So that function is being called on input somewhere else. Log before on input. Value submitted. Okay, so what is calling that? something's calling that on input function, even though the only place on input is called is right there. All right, so suggest enter we dig back into the Git prompt. On input. Can't do that here. All right, let's see if create on input default. Okay, so that's the create is called. Now let's see if let's see if this one's called. I don't see it called there. Okay, something else is calling invoke choices, but it's not the on input handler. Hey Ryan. I'm doing pretty well, just looking through code I haven't touched in a long time and trying to reorient myself. Let's see. All the places invoke choices gets called is get initial props. And there. So it must be this one. if I change this one. Okay, it is get initial choices that's being called there. And sending undefined to both. The input should be an empty string. You know, that I think that's what it needs to be. This should now be that. Let's see, let's get initial choices there. Yeah, I think that looks right to me. Okay, so that's okay. That sent the empty string that time. Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense. I nested the input inside of state, and I never, on like the initial hydrate populate of those props, I didn't move that in there. So, let's change that in the SDK as well. Get initial choices. And initial choices. I think I can get rid of that. This is touching some very core stuff, so as much as I trust TypeScript and my own knowledge, it still makes me a little nervous. All right. All right, let's build that. Looks like that didn't work. Duplicate. Don't have to omit input there anymore. .544 and FTS. There it is. Interesting. Yeah, I guess this is only ever used by the user. It's a convenience. It's funny how bugs like that expose little things you forgot to refactor. Make that bigger. Suggest. Okay, well let's go into suggest now and use that logic that I thought would work. Candy. Computer. Taco. Interesting. And I guess once I make a choice there, I can toss it into Google search. So let's do that. So the search is this. I will literally copy and paste this. to suggest and say that the result of this suggestion can go into the input. Actually, we'll just call this input. Let's see how that works. So suggest taco, tacos near me. Interesting. Oh. That's interesting how it does the type dog, select dog breeds. It calls it once without input, even though I provide a default input. Does that need to happen? Gonna have to think about that one. We will need to placeholder and footer enter to search. So now it'll look like this. Taco Bell or pizza. That can work. Surprised here, or not surprised, but it's not behaving. So I log input. What is this gonna say? Suggest. I'll type Taco Bell. Input is an empty string, then input is Taco Bell. But so that initial value is not being passed. So when I refactored get initial choices, do I know the input here? Oops. I have to do this in the live SDK. big object. Suggest Taco Bell. So the config does have the input, so I can pass it. All right. So that means that I can take that and off the config, grab the input, default it to an empty string, and pass that here. Okay, did that solve that? Taco, right, taco, select Taco Bell. Nice, okay. All right, let me bring that over. Shoe, input, default empty string, grab a state there, wait for prompt value, grab the state, and instead of that, okay, and that's only called in that one spot, so that should be fine. All right. This is a really deep dive into this today. I imagine I'll rarely show like this much of the internals. This may have fixed the other thing where if you spell a word, we'll say taco, hit tab. No, the tabs still do the same thing. That might be the word API though. Alright, I gotta go though. Alright, thanks for hanging out. I should be back tomorrow. Later.